Good morning. Welcome to Integrative Preparedness. How are you all today? And happy day after Christmas. Did you all have a nice Christmas? I hope so. We had a great Christmas. I want to talk today about after Christmas preparedness or post Christmas preparedness. What can we kind of think about doing right now? We've had just a great last few days, and of course the whole season. And those of you who are regulars here, you know that we're all about Christmas. Uh, but the last few days has just been fantastic. We spend Christmas Eve with Kelly's family. They always did it on Christmas Eve, which is great. So the whole clan gets together and spends it we spent it at her brother's house, is one of her brother's house this year, and then Christmas Day is when my family has always traditionally celebrated Christmas. So yesterday we had all of our clan over to our house, and it was great. It was just great. I'd say every year seems to get better, and it just keeps on going. And I hope yours is too. The time between Christmas and New Year's is always kind of a time for relaxing for me and just kind of taking stock. It's very, very busy up until Christmas. And then after the first of the year, January 1st is kind of one of those mental lines that you think about making new starts and things like that. I never think about making a new start. I think about, continuing on with what I'm doing. and, uh, you know, I won't say that the 1st of January means a lot to me, except that, okay, maybe it's a time to review the plan, you know, and make sure that we're on the plan, see if we need to tweak anything. Um, but this is the time now that I just kind of relax. And my email crashed. So I don't even have to check email. But anyway, it's kind of nice to be honest. To be honest, so I got up this morning and had some dressing for breakfast and some strawberry rhubarb pie, and that's the way I intend to live the next few days. But um, after Christmas is a time that you can really uh, kind of up your preparations. Before Christmas, there's a lot of sales on, right? And that's the time that you can, not just buying gifts, but buy those little things that you've been wanting to add to fill some of your cracks. But after Christmas sales are where it's at. They'll be clearing out all their Christmas stuff. And here I'll say something. Uh, my oldest son has this is a little business here, just a little business talk. And then we'll get back to preparing the way that you think about preparing. But my oldest son has a booth in the Painted Tree up in Lincoln, Nebraska. And one of the things that he has done really well this last year or this last month, selling Christmas items in the booth. So now everything's being slashed. All the Christmas stuff is being slashed to 70, 80, 90% off. Who's blinking at me? Huh? And so now's the time that he's going to go out to all those places, Walmart, Hobby Lobby, all those kinds of things, and just buy up all this Christmas stuff that he will put back and get ready to sell next year. And of course, that's a basic premise of preparedness, is long-term planning. This is what distinguishes those who are successful from those who are not just in preparation, but in financial situations. So long-term planning. What can you get after Christmas? Uh, Pretty soon they're going to be putting all their cold weather clothing on slash sales. If you don't, before or right in the fall is not the time to buy what you need for cold weather. It's the year before. Years ago, uh, Academy, Academy Sports had a huge sale on thermal, base layer, and they knocked them down. I mean, usually I think they're like 14.90. I don't know how much they are now because I haven't bought them in probably 10 years. Because why? Because I bought a bunch then. And they were clearing these things out for 99 cents a piece, and also two-piece sets for kids. So at the time, my kids were small, and I knew that they were growing. So I just bought, I bought stacks of these two-piece thermals and my kids don't like to wear thermals, they're not, it's not cool to wear thermals where we live. But I did it, against the time to where everything may crash and we may need them. And, there were times that they weren't. But I still have, I don't know how many unopened packages of adult and kid thermals that I got all of them for 99 cents. So I don't, some, it kind of depends on what the season is, how well they've sold, how many they need to get rid of, how many they don't want to take the time to restock, whether there's a new style coming in the next year and they need to get rid of the old style. A whole lot of things go into this. But there's going to be a lot of sales out there. And so make use of it. And, I know that this comes at kind of maybe a bad time for a lot of people because they can say, well, I spent all my money for Christmas. And of course, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't spend all of your money for Christmas. Christmas, and it's a time that we love giving gifts. And it doesn't, a lot of people think of that mistakenly. The people who don't do it. And I'm not saying there aren't some who do this improperly, but the ones who don't do that and kind of deride people giving gifts at Christmas and things like that. What they don't understand is it's not all commercialism. It is the joy of giving. It is the time of year when instead of just buying the things that say the kids that they need, we think about, okay, we're celebrating the birth of Christ. And for those who don't understand, no, we don't worship a Christmas tree. We don't worship Santa Claus. We celebrate the birth of Christ. And we use this as kind of a, a human reflection of God's greatest gift to us by giving gifts. And it's the time that instead of buying what people need, we buy things that will give them pleasure, or that we hope will. And the joy of doing that, it is really a blessing in itself. Better to give than to receive. Well, when we're kids, we don't realize that, but this is a year that. But when we get older, of course, we do. And this is a year that my kids gave me things. They went out with their own money and bought things, and I could see the anticipation and the joy in their eyes when I was unwrapping the things that they had bought for me, had thought about, had figured it out. What would Dad want? What could he give? And they've come into a whole new portion of their lives, and now they're getting that kind of joy that we always get. So. But think about what you can do now. Hopefully, like I say, you haven't spent all your money. Don't go out and get into debt over this. But look at those things that can serve you long term. There's going to be a lot of sales. And that's what in the directed relaxation that I'm going to be doing for the next week or so. That's what I'm going to be doing, is taking a look at those sales. Because this is where you're not buying, you're investing. Big difference. And invest in those things that you're going to use, right? Okay, well, you all have a great day after Christmas. What don't the Brits do something? You guys in Canada and I always forget. Is this Boxing Day for you all? I used to think when I was growing up that's when people had fistfights, but apparently it's not, right? That's because you put gifts in a box. But happy Boxing Day to you all. And of course, we're going through the season, and many people continue the celebration through. We don't take our lights down until the 6th because we have other elements. And some don't even, what was it? And I don't remember, but some celebrate Christmas on a different day. So if your Christmas is coming up, Merry Christmas to you. We all celebrate the same thing. We don't know exactly when Jesus was born, but we know he was, right? And so we celebrate him. So you all have a great next week. And I'm not taking time off of videos now. Matter of fact, I'm going to make another one right after this one because just answering a question on what's better, farming or ranching. and have a great next week and next month and next year. There's a lot going on. It's going to be an interesting time, right? But if we prepare well, we will continue to live well. And to put a cap on that, we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow, right? Hago. Those of you who know what Hago means, who knows what Hago means? Who doesn't know what Hago means? Y'all have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.